Which begs the question, what are the four players that the Indiana Fever should core to make sure that no team can touch them heading into the expansion draft? Remember, you just lose these players straight up. You don't get anything back for the players. They're gone. We didn't get anything for Temi, did we? No, exactly.
Did the Indiana Fever just light a match and toss it on their own franchise? A bombshell report has confirmed the team is on the brink of a full-blown meltdown, with 4 key players gone and the front office operating in a state of complete and utter panic. The question isn't just about who they'll sign to replace them, it's about whether they can fix this mess before they ruin the single greatest asset in women's sports, Caitlin Clark. So did the Fever just make a brilliant move in the shadows, or is this the beginning of a disaster that will set them back a decade?
Feel to be back in Las Vegas?
It feels great to be back, but I'm going to pivot to something else. Sally, is that cool?
Yes.
All right. On behalf of my teammates and every member of our union, I want to be clear. We remain committed to negotiating the next CBA with the league and the teams in good faith and privately. We know that our league is growing, and we believe that it's imperative that our CBA reflects the growth that we've experienced in the league, and that players should be seeing part of those earnings. And so I am excited to be back here, but unfortunately there are more pressing things going on with our league.
Let's get straight to the chaos, because Indiana just turned their entire offseason into a soap opera. 4 key roster spots are now empty, as key players become unrestricted free agents. Their contracts officially expired. We're talking about players like Temi Fagbenle, a reliable starter who anchored the front court next to Aaliyah Boston, and veteran point guard Erica Wheeler, one of the few stabilizing forces in the locker room. These aren't just names at the end of the bench. These were the players who did the dirty work, the glue that held the team together through a brutal rookie season for Clark, filled with injuries, hard fouls, and intense media pressure. Now they could all be wearing different jerseys next year.
Averaged 20.2 points per game last season, 3.2 assists for somebody who never passes the ball, from what I'm told. She averaged over 3 assists last year. She never passes the ball. You'd think she'd average 1.5, 1.2. 3.2 assists for Kelsey Money Mitch, and shot nearly 40% from 3, 39% from the three-point line for Kelsey Mitchell last year. When her and Caitlin Clark are in the lineup together, lethal, deadly.
But this is much bigger than losing a few role players. This is about the Indiana Fever completely and utterly failing their superstar. Caitlin Clark was the most targeted player in the league last season, bar none. She was pushed, shoved, cheap-shotted, and blindsided on a nightly basis, all while carrying the weight of the entire WNBA on her shoulders. The one thing she needed heading into the offseason was stability and protection, a clear sign that the front office had her back. Instead, they just ripped away her support system, leaving her more vulnerable than ever before. It's a shocking move that makes you wonder if they understand the asset they even have.
I believe it'll happen. There is a possibility that Kelsey Mitchell may take her talents elsewhere, and we need to be fully prepped and ready to go to continue to build this roster out around Caitlin Clark.
To make matters worse, these departing players aren't just sitting at home waiting by the phone. Many are heading to off-season leagues like Athletes Unlimited or going overseas. And this isn't just for a paycheck, it's an audition. They're keeping their options wide open, showcasing their talents for the entire league to see. While the Fever front office sits on its hands, these veterans are essentially putting up a giant for sale sign. It's a silent protest against the uncertainty in Indiana, a clear message that they aren't willing to wait around for a front office that doesn't seem to have a plan. Every other team is watching, ready to poach proven talent. And if you think that's bad, the situation is about to get even more explosive. Whispers are growing louder that Kelsey Mitchell, the team's veteran sharpshooter, longest tenured player, and second leading scorer, is on the trade block. Multiple teams are reportedly making calls, and if Indiana pulls that trigger, it's a clear signal that they are hitting the panic button and initiating a full teardown. Trading Mitchell wouldn't just be a roster move, it would be the ultimate betrayal of the team's core, sending a chilling message that no one is safe and that Clark and Aaliyah Boston are being left on an island to fend for themselves. With veteran players potentially walking out the door, a terrifying question emerges. Who is going to lead this team? Sure, Caitlin Clark is the face of the franchise, but she's still just entering her second year. It's not her job to manage locker room egos, enforce accountability, or calm everyone down when things go wrong. Last season, players like Wheeler and Fagbenlow provided that essential veteran presence. Now, a massive leadership vacuum has been created, and the front office has no apparent plan to fill it. They've essentially handed the keys to a billion-dollar car to their youngest stars and then taken away the GPS and the spare tire. This isn't just about Caitlin Clark, either. The front office's chaotic approach is a direct betrayal of their other cornerstone, Aliyah Boston. After an anomalous Rookie of the Year campaign, Boston needs stability and a solid supporting cast to continue her development into one of the league's most dominant bigs. Instead, they are dismantling the very structure that allows her to succeed. A center is only as good as the guards who get them the ball and the wings who space the floor. By creating this much uncertainty, the Fever aren't just failing Clark, they're actively undermining the growth of their other franchise player, risking the future of their entire front court. This chaos puts head coach Christie Sides in an absolutely impossible position. Her system showed flashes of real potential last season, but it was heavily dependent on having smart, experienced players who understood their roles and could execute under pressure. Now she's facing the terrifying prospect of starting training camp with a roster full of holes and question marks. You can't run a fast-paced, modern offense when your depth is gone and your key players are looking over their shoulders, wondering who will be traded next. History shows that even the best coaches can't win without a competent front office backing them up, and right now, Sides is being left out to dry. The front office will try to spin this as a youth movement, a strategic pivot to build around their young stars, but that's a lie and a lazy one at that. A successful youth movement requires surrounding your young talent with savvy veterans who can teach them how to be professionals, how to navigate the brutal 40-game season, and how to win. Instead, Indiana is doing the exact opposite. They are stripping away experience and leadership, leaving their young core exposed. This isn't a rebuild, it's a demolition. It's a PR talking point designed to hide the fact that they don't seem to know what they're doing. Just when it seems it couldn't get any worse, an even bigger problem is looming over the entire league. The WNBA's Collective Bargaining Agreement, or CBA, is up in the air after the Players Association officially opted out. Until a new deal is signed, the entire league is effectively frozen. Teams can't officially sign, trade, or extend anyone. This means the Fever are stuck in place, paralyzed by forces beyond their control. They can't re-sign their own players, and they can't go after replacements. They are trapped in limbo, watching their team fall apart while a massive ticking clock hangs over everyone's head. This isn't just bad luck, it's part of a disturbing pattern of mismanagement and neglect that has infuriated the fan base. Fans are having visceral flashbacks to last season when Caitlin Clark was getting hammered on the court by cheap shots, and the front office stayed completely silent for days, offering no public defense of their star player. They failed to protect her then, and now they are failing to build around her. They seem to believe that Clark's talent alone is enough to sell tickets, but they're ignoring the fundamental truth that basketball is a team sport. This isn't strategy, it's gross negligence. And the fans have had enough. The moment this story broke, social media exploded in a firestorm of frustration and anger. Comment sections are filled with fans saying things like, "Here we go again. This is self-sabotage," and the ever-present plea, "Protect Caitlin at all costs or lose her." This isn't just online noise, it's the sound of a fan base that finally had hope after years of losing, only to see it potentially squandered by baffling front office decisions. The trust that was painstakingly built during Clark's rookie season is eroding with every passing day of silence. The most infuriating part of all of this is the staggering hypocrisy. The Indiana Fever are richer and more relevant than they've ever been. Caitlin Clark's arrival brought in a tidal wave of cash from sold-out arenas, record-breaking jersey sales, and massive national sponsorship deals. Yet, the front office is operating like a small-market team, pinching pennies. Instead of using that unprecedented revenue to lock down their core and aggressively add elite talent, they're letting valuable pieces walk away. It's like winning the lottery and then using the money to buy cheaper off-brand groceries. And make no mistake, every other team in the WNBA is watching this dumpster fire with a magnifying glass and a notepad. Powerhouses like the Las Vegas Aces and the New York Liberty aren't sitting around. They're reloading and building dynasties. They see the chaos and indecision in Indiana and are already drawing up plans to poach whatever talent the Fever let slip through their fingers. Indiana isn't just failing to keep up with the arms race, they are actively disarming themselves while their rivals get stronger, smarter, and more aggressive. All of this leads to a deafening silence from the one place that should be providing answers, the front office. Not a single statement has been released to calm fans' nerves or explain the long-term vision. It's a vacuum of leadership that feels both arrogant and incompetent. Are they planning a blockbuster trade? Are they saving cap space for a specific free agent? Or do they simply have no idea what to do next? Their silence isn't creating mystery, it's creating panic. It's like watching a pilot leave the cockpit mid-flight without saying a word. This all builds to the doomsday scenario that every single Fever fan is terrified to even think about. If the front office continues to bungle this to surround a generational talent with instability and chaos, how long until Caitlin Clark gets tired of it? We've seen it happen time and time again in professional sports. A superstar gets stuck on a dysfunctional team, and eventually, they demand a way out. If Indiana doesn't prove they can build a legitimate contender around her and fast, she won't stay loyal forever out of the goodness of her heart. She's a born winner, and right now, she's trapped in a losing situation created by her own team. So here we are, at a franchise-altering crossroads that feels more like a cliff's edge. The Fever have been gifted a golden ticket, a player who single-handedly changed their destiny and the financial future of the entire league. But instead of building a fortress around her, they're taking a wrecking ball to the foundation. Is this a calculated risk to clear the decks for a brilliant move, or is it the kind of catastrophic self-sabotage that will haunt this team for a decade? The front office isn't talking, and their silence is the most terrifying answer of all. What do you think is really going on in Indiana? Drop your theory in the comments below, and if you want more unfiltered WNBA news, hit that subscribe button.